Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the fact that it's approaching the prior all-time high of approximately 58,300 on the same day as the 40% dump a year ago. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. The reason why this, in my opinion, is very interesting is because it shows you just how quickly sentiment can change in the market, right? It shows you how quickly. This was the day, if we zoom in on March 12th, we're approaching it, it's March 11th now. We had a 40% drop in the price of Bitcoin, about a 40% drop in a single day. And then it continued on into the next day with a wick all the way down to $3,800 or $3,900 or so. So back then, when we were discussing Bitcoin back then, we were saying this is a huge opportunity because you simply do not get these opportunities in Bitcoin that often. And when you do get them, instead of running for the hills like most people might do when Bitcoin is capitulating like this would represent a key buying opportunity. And these opportunities just do not come around very often. We had one of those opportunities here, and then we had one of them here this market cycle. Those were our two primary capitulations. We've also had similar capitulations in prior cycles, but you just have to recognize the opportunity for what it is. So whenever we get those opportunities in the future, remember, look how quickly things were able to change. From the bottom, from the capitulation wick, today, Bitcoin is up almost 1,400%. So it's almost up almost 1,400% in 1 year. So the idea that you can't make money on Bitcoin is simply not true. I mean, this is a 15x. A 1,400% move is 15x, believe it or not. So a 15x move in 1 year is what Bitcoin has done. Now, on the contrary, on a counterpoint, it also sort of brings home another point of a lot of people saying that we will no longer have major corrections. This narrative can last, for periods of time, but if history is any indication, we will have nice corrections, and people probably just won't be ready for them. So it's been 1 year. As of tomorrow, by the time this video is posted, it'll likely be March 12th, at least UTC time. So 1 year ago, Bitcoin capitulated, and it continued its capitulation into March 13th. 1 year later, Bitcoin is flirting with its prior all-time high, and in fact, a few weeks ago went to our upper regression band. Okay, look how quickly times have changed. We went from the bottom of the regression band. In fact, we had wicks below it. We had a wick below the regression band over here. I mean, and it wasn't just, I mean, it was a 21% wick below. So we went from 21% below our accumulation band to touching the peak regression band in less than a year. And on today, as I make this video, we have come back up and we're flirting with those same levels. So this all goes to show you that with Bitcoin, time is on our side, right? Time is on our side, and that these are opportunities over here, and then you are able to hopefully reap the rewards later on. Now, we'll continue to keep an eye on the Bitcoin price. It's interesting coming up on exactly 1 year, and the potential implications of that. But let's see what happens. We put out polls recently saying, okay, is it heading up from here? Is it heading down? Most people from the polls seem to think it's heading up. We know there's a decent chance it could go up. The momentum is certainly relatively strong. We're always ready for anything though, right? Always be ready for anything, especially when we're testing prior all-time highs. I would say always be ready for anything. If we break above it, then there's a really strong probability if we're able to break above around 58.3 or so. If we're able to break above that level, our next leg is going to likely be taking us well into our peak regression band. Now, I will remind you, because I always like to remind people of this, the peak regression band is only fit to 3 data points. So let's remember that in terms of thinking about how accurate it may or may not be. I don't know how well it will ultimately do in projecting a theoretical top, whether it's a market cycle top or a local top. I don't know. This is our first time testing it. If you're curious, right now it ranges from $59,130 up to $87,177. So today, in order for us to go above the regression band, the price of Bitcoin would need to go up another 55% or so. And we also recognize that our peak regression band is increasing by, $100 or so, maybe a little bit less each and every day. So exciting times in the market. Look how quickly the times have changed from below the accumulation band to the peak regression band in less than a year. Let's see where the next few months take us, because right now momentum is on our side. It seems like there's a decent chance we move up in this range, but we always want to be ready for the theoretical downside risk, especially when things are relatively extended. If you guys like the content, remember to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. We have over 210,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for subscribing. I've never seen the channel grow like this. We're getting about 10,000 subscribers a day. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Let's go for 250,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Turn on your alerts. Remember, we have the premium list altcoin season sale. You can find a link to that in the description below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.